Chapter 10 Celebrity Status. All this started because you wrote that letter, Marty would say. No, I would reply. All this started because of your kindness. It was an argument that neither of us could win. I was giving my speech to the richest man in town 40 to 50 times a year, in small towns, big business meetings, high school graduations, and at the base of Mount Rushmore. The message was always the same. The reaction from the crowds was always the same, too. Those who heard it wondered, is Marty for real? Many people had to find out for themselves. People would come to the Walmart in our town after they heard me speak about him. Some would be driving on Interstate 29, which passes just outside our town, and decide to make a detour to see if he was really there, wearing his red vest, ringing up purchases, shaking hands, and giving hugs. Two men drove 150 miles out of their way to meet him. A group of women who had heard me speak at a convention in a distant city decided to make a special trip to see him. At this, Marty said, I must be getting pretty popular. Mickey was sitting next to Marty at the kitchen table when he told me about the women visiting him. She brushed his hand and said, Don't you start getting a big head. Marty laughed. I know. Just when you start to think you're somebody puts you in your place. That had happened to Marty a few days earlier at a grocery store. A guy walked up to him and said, Boy, I haven't seen you since they closed down Kmart. True, Marty had gained some measure of fame from my talks in distant places around our hometown, and for the people in the area, he didn't need the publicity. Every person who went through his line remembered him. South Dakota's largest paper, the Argus Leader in Sioux Falls, published a story about Marty in the Thanksgiving edition. College students, as part of their classroom assignments on customer service, would drop by and videotape Marty as he performed his magic at the checkout counter. Ministers talked about him in their Sunday sermons. Customers would come by the store and say, I heard you at church yesterday, Marty. The preacher said we need to be more like you. Marty would blush, not quite knowing what to say. It was all very heady stuff. One fall, I received a call from a very excited Marty. Guess what I've been asked to do? A group of people from the local Chamber of Commerce had stopped at the store and asked him to serve as the Grand Marshal for the Festival of Lights parade, which ushers in the Christmas season. It's an honor usually reserved for local dignitaries and political types. Why do you think they chose me? Marty asked. He still didn't get it. The temperature was 10 degrees on the night of the parade. Steam rose from anything even remotely warm, an idling car, the tops of buildings, the mouths and nostrils of passers-by. A strong wind from the north whipped away those little clouds and made the darkness feel even colder. I joined a group of people huddled in front of our post office. 10 minutes later, before the parade was about to begin, the sidewalks were empty. I felt so sorry for Marty. It was a big moment in his life, and the weather was not cooperating. All that changed when a police car's siren signaled the start of the parade. People got out of their cozy cars and left the comfort of shops and stores. Curbsides were soon filled with children and other people bundled up in their warm coats. Look, Mom, one little girl shouted. Here they come. A color guard led the parade. Everyone on both sides of the street placed their gloved-covered right hands over their heart as the American flag passed by. Then came the moment I was waiting for. The vehicle carrying the Grand Marshal came gliding down the street. Marty and Mickey were in the back seat of a pickup truck with an extended cab. Both were wearing Santa Claus hats. Sitting on the left side with the window rolled down, Marty waved furiously at the crowd. I broke from the crowd and walked towards the pickup truck. The woman who was driving the truck smiled when she saw me and brought the vehicle to a stop. I stuck my hand inside the window to shake Marty's hand. I said, I'm proud of you. Marty had an enormous smile on his face. Isn't this something? He exclaimed. I walked back to my place in the crowd. For the next few minutes, I watched as the pickup truck moved slowly down the street. Marty's hand protruded from the half-opened window, never ceasing to wave the entire time. People in the crowd waved back. Some yelled, Yeah, Marty! A young woman from the Chamber of Commerce told me that they had received many calls from people thanking them for choosing Marty. He sent the office a card thanking its members for making him Grand Marshal. We all remember him for that, the woman said. Marty had been such a hit with everyone that the chamber planned to ask him to be the Grand Marshal again. Fate had a different idea.